Hey, good morning. It is September 27th. Happy Friday to all of you either watching live or you tuning in after the fact. There are a couple things that I ran into this week that I wanted to share with you that I feel are some content mistakes that I see most companies making right now, especially in the social media sphere. And let's just start with a quick story if I could. The first thing that I've discovered is that more than anything else, people focus on, especially with their social media marketing, trying to sell stuff or trying to get people to hire them by speaking only about their core competencies and what it is that you want people to give you money to do. And don't get me wrong, I understand that that's a really important thing. And especially when we had finite space available, it was really important that we concentrated on those things. And by that I mean finite is like magazines, newspapers, television spots where we have to pay for those things. But because social media is unlimited as far as our ability to create and disseminate content, if we just pitch, it gives people no reason to listen to us until they're exactly at the point where they're ready to hear that message. And that's your classic, truck commercials or beer commercials playing during football games, right? Like, don't you want this thing? And then you just run that in perpetuity, and eventually people will want that truck or be ready for that truck. So here's the story. I had a reporter reach out to me this a few days ago, and she said, we've used you before for a piece, and we're doing right now a new piece about Instagram marketing for professional services practices. Now, I can't think of a single professional services practice with which we work, whether it's in legal or financial services or banking, where we're really doing anything Instagram-wise. Now, did I reply to her and say, yeah, you know what, we don't do Instagram, it's not interesting to me, etc. No, I said, well, let me at least look through our data. I can see what we do individually at our company Amplify when it comes to Instagram, what I've done personally on Instagram, and then some things that are perhaps tangential to professional services on the B2C side, because we know oftentimes consumer brands are leading the charge when it comes to those newer technologies, and the professional services are a little bit lagging in their adoption of it. So what I did in response then, as opposed to telling her, no, I'm not interested, this is not a core competency, I said, let me just check the data, see what it is that we've seen. I'll share that with you and then see if it's worthwhile for your readers. I wrote that stuff up, it took me about 5 minutes to do, sent it off to her, and the article just went live yesterday. Now again, though, it only focused on the stuff that I knew, but this is really important because instead of saying to the reporter, no, I'm not interested, which then leads her to go elsewhere in future posts, I said, let me at least try to add value to your audience and have this piece be something that you can then use us as your expert, if you will. And I think this is really important because the more that we as organizations, especially in professional services, where we can start looking at things that are tangential to what we do in real life, every single day that we bill for, and say, well, how can we better serve an audience and make it worthwhile for them, the more that you'll engender trust, and the more that people will look to you and go, oh, you know what you said here is really good. I wonder what else you have to say. Now, what I propose to you then is you look at how you're leading teams or how you're leading projects as two really good ways for you to share with an audience that you'd like to serve, whether now or in the future, what it is that you're figuring out. Because the number one struggle that I hear from people when it comes to anything that they do in their job is, look, no one either prepped me to do project management, now I'm thrown into this, or I don't really know how to lead a team or how to lead people that are part of my team, subordinate to me, or even report up the chain of command. So what I'd ask you to consider doing is that in your day-to-day work that you're doing, think about, I ran into this situation on a project. I ran into this situation with a person, and of course make it anecdotal, right? So you're protecting privacy and that kind of stuff. But just share what it is that you've discovered. Share what it is that you've learned so other people can learn from you. Because what's going to happen after that fact, after you share this stuff for a while, is people are going to go, you know what, she's really smart, and she's been sharing some stuff that I can take away. What does she do for work? Right? This is something interesting to me because I've learned from you, I trust you, and oh, by the way, you also sell stuff as well. Because there's a huge trust factor, right, in any business right now, and the more that we can get people to trust us as opposed to just pitching, by being helpful first, the better off you'll do. And let's make this at least analogous to something else you've probably run into before. I want you to think about your favorite band, and that one song that got you to like your favorite band. Now, that song might have been one that was on the radio. It might have been this obscure thing that you heard that somebody introduced you to. It might be a cover song, maybe where people played someone else's music, and you liked that band. Now, after you liked that first song from that band, were you more or less likely to go and look for other stuff that they've recorded and other songs that they've done? And it's, of course, a silly question, right? Of course, you're going to go and look for their other stuff. You're going to go, well, I really like this song from this band. Maybe I like these other things as well. And when you start to build a catalog of content where you're simply trying to be helpful, a la what bands are doing, right? Just trying to perform what they think is going to be something that people like, the more that people are going to latch on to different stuff from you. It's not to this one hit song. It's not this one hit advertisement that's going to resonate with everybody because it's got the perfect copy on it. It's got the perfect sense of creative to it, and everybody's going to suddenly glom onto it. It's you consistently producing content that's meant to be helpful, knowing that the majority of what you do is not going to be for everybody, but it's going to be for some people. And some people are going to see that and go, what she said, I really like that. What else has she done historically? And oh, by the way, what else has she done for work? So think in terms of you knowingly telling a reporter who's calling you, asking you for your help on a daily basis, no, I don't want to help you because I don't do that. We're not trying to sell that. Think in terms of, because we have unlimited media, we don't necessarily need to rely on a reporter prompting us anymore with a question. You can simply say, look, this is something we figured out at our business. It's not at all about what we do, what we sell, but it's something that we feel would benefit you as somebody we'd like to serve, because this is what we've figured out and we just want to be helpful. I hope this starts off your Friday well, as far as maybe getting off the fence when it comes to sharing certain kind of content on social media, and go out and be helpful today. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great Friday. See you next time.